Let's do it.
Oh, cracking soul. Okay, Guy Fenwick, 61 Property Group. How are you?
Mate, I'm fantastic. Loving this beautiful Brisbane weather.
Mate, it's good to have you up in Brisbane as well. Recently moved.
It is, yeah. Been up here for about 4 or 5 months now and absolutely loving it. It's -6 back at home, so it's quite nice.
Right. Yeah. I actually feel it's a little bit cold. I'm from Canberra originally, and I feel like it's a little bit cold this morning. So I've definitely desensitized to the Queensland weather. Mate, I need to start with Guy. Who are you? What do you do?
So I'm Guy Fenwick, born and bred in Canberra, grown up there till literally moved up here 4 months ago. Builder by trade. We're moving into developments now, just slightly different avenue to what we're doing, but being in the trade, I think since I was 16. So started young through school. Was never one that loved the classroom. Definitely a more hands-on approach to life.
Yep. So in terms of like apprenticeship, straight out of school, and that was all done in Canberra. Decent builder in Canberra.
Yep, correct. Yeah, so actually did my apprenticeship through school for an ASBA school-based apprenticeship. Started there. By the time I finished my time, I think I was 19 or 20 because I started so early. Actually went into fishing for a few years and then come back with an absolute hunger to build some beautiful homes. As you all do, you start from projects, anything that you can get, and then you slowly build up and up and up.
Okay. Yeah. So this 61 Property Group, obviously you founded that. When getting started in the 61, tell me about like early days. What did that look like for you guys?
So early days, it was just me and one of my mates. It was just the two of us starting, like I said, taking on anything we could, just working hard as much as we could, trying to get our hands into slightly bigger jobs, and from the very start, trying to actually look at it as a business, not just as a carpenter. So I've always had the super hunger to try and grow a better business as we went along.
Okay. And the guy that you started with, is still in the business?
Unfortunately, he was supposed to move up with us, but he made the last minute decision to stay back in Canberra, but he was with us for 5 years up until then.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a shame to lose him, but
How old is the business?
5.5 years now. So
Okay. And you started out in what, like renovations and some of the smaller stuff, or was it straight into new builds?
no, it was literally anything, insurance job, whatever I could get my hand on. I didn't want to go back and work for someone. So started off with some insurance work, started with bathrooms, moved up to kitchens, decks, pergolas, bigger renovations, extensions.
Yep.
And now going into some lovely luxury new homes.
Yeah, well, so that's the stuff that's really exciting. You're obviously now starting to build some really, really epic stuff. But starting out, I suppose, when you get into this sort of space, as a chippy, is it everything that you thought it was going to be coming out of school in that apprenticeship stage? Like looking forward, has the business sort of been what you thought it was going to be?
It's definitely hotter. Like I think as with most businesses, you probably think it's going to be easier and smoother than it is, but you soon realise there's a lot of hurdles and a lot of things you've got to deal with and jump through. So it's yes in terms of what happens on site construction wise, but in the overall actually running a business is very different to kind of what people make it seem.
Okay, and in Canberra, how many houses did you have under your belt before moving up here?
So we've done 2 developments for ourselves, and then we've just done maybe 10, 12 massive renos, extensions, and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay, and now up here is a whole nother level for you, isn't it?
Up here is a completely different ballpark. Kind of, we moved in, our smallest build is a build price of about $1.5 million, up to, we're looking at some jobs that are going to be $6-7 million builds.
Yeah, amazing. And how long does it take to turn around a house like that?
So it really depends how you're going to look at from pre-construction compared to actually on site. We usually like 4 to 6 months pre-construction to make sure you have a seamless actual construction period, but your construction, depending on the project, how well it's designed and efficiently, 8 to 12 months is pretty reasonable.
Okay. And I suppose like this, it just seems like there's just so many things to understand when like you're a builder is one thing, or you're a carpenter and you're in there working on other people's houses. But then when you start to move into your own projects, it's a whole different world. You've got to manage everything start to finish. So tell me a little bit about that transition for you. Like, what did that look like?
So the transition was we decided to buy a block of land and do our first one for ourselves. Canberra was a pretty small place because we were new and trying to grow the business quick. It was hard to get someone to let a younger fella actually build a house. So I went out, bought a block of land and designed a beautiful home and built it for ourselves to actually live in. And that was the first one.
Okay. And how much say in the design of that house did you have? Was that all you, or you brought your partner in on that, or?
Yeah, definitely a fair bit. It was kind of everything you wanted to do on jobs. We were like, well, this is a chance we can actually throw in this. Let's do this. Probably went a bit over the top for kind of what we were doing, but yeah, the end result was amazing.
Yeah. And how long did you get to live in that before you moved on?
10 months.
Okay, yeah, long enough.
Yeah, long
Long
enough.
enough. Okay, gotcha. Mate, so what inspired you to start the company? Obviously, you're watching the trade growing up. Did you have family in the trade, or?
Had no family in the trade when I left school. I just got offered the job, and that's how I started. But then to come back from fishing into it, through fishing, I met a great mentor who's one of my best mates today.
Yep.
And he just inspired me of what actually you have possible with your life and what you can create. He wasn't a builder directly, he was a concrete developer, but he ultimately just, it was like being in a dark room and turning a light on for what actually I could achieve with my life. So from having such a good mentor just helped me understand the business side of it so much and help push to where we are today.
I think that's such an important part. Hey, those guys that really shape the path or open the door on what's coming. And that's how we met. Like you're in obviously another big networking group, and there's some big builders in that, some big construction happening in that. Um, how I suppose reliant on guidance of just those, I suppose more experienced people are you? Like, are you constantly around other builders, developers? You do your own thing, stay in your own lane. Explain that process to me.
For me, I love to try and build a network of people doing the same thing. I don't like to look at these people as competition. It's like, if we can all grow together, it's a big enough pie. Let's all work together and try and limit the mistakes we do make. And how can we help each other build better businesses?
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree. Um, Mate, along the way, like 2 to 3 accomplishments that have really stood out as like the big wins for you. Talk to me about them.
I think the biggest one was being able to build that first home. I'd worked a lot of 80, 100-hour weeks to build up enough capital to build own homes. That was, something truly special to me to then be able to put all the skills I'd learned over the previous 10 years into an actual home and all the ideas that we had. That's probably the first big one. Second would be moving up here, finally making that leap. I left a great business back in Canberra, took a lot of risk, leaving that and the reputation we had there to, start where we know very minimal people. We had no work lined up. So it was definitely massive.
Yeah, I think that these in 6 months' time from now, obviously you're already on a new project for yourself up here. 6 months' time from now, you'll look back and go, mate, how good,
Oh,
what a great jump.
already looking at it like it's awesome. It's been a lot tougher than what I thought it would be, definitely. But mate, I wouldn't change a thing. There's no way. I'm never going back.
Yeah, brilliant. Good to hear. And it's good to have you up here as well. Moments in the journey along the way. So you're 5 years old. Moments in the journey where things haven't gone to plan.
One of the biggest things is definitely not just getting stages with clients where you haven't had things as black as white as you should and has resulted in not getting paid. That's definitely been one of the toughest ones, as well as just made I had a big lesson learnt when we weren't focused on a certain detail in a project enough and we lost a very profitable contract. So
Yeah.
that was definitely a massive learning and kind of hard pill to swallow at the time, but like to where we are now, it's really helped us create the importance of systems and processes and building them out.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree. So when it comes to like one framework or strategy system that you use, do you have like a method that you apply to every project? Talk to me about like the systems and the processes that you've learnt that have been really successful for you.
Definitely. So the biggest thing is having the correct documentation, the updated documentation on hand for everyone at every one time. Like having it in a set area where everyone's got full access to it. We run a OneDrive system for our in-house team, or we run a project management software for the on-site team. So it doesn't matter who you are, you can have full direct access to the most up-to-date information, and it's clear.
Yeah, brilliant. So it looks like someone's building a $6-7 million house. Um, it's a 6 month timeline. In that 6 months, they engage you to figure out what they actually want to put on the block. You'll go through the whole planning stage with them, hold their hand through that. Then when it comes to the interiors, selection of everything that they can imagine, you essentially head contract the whole thing start to finish, correct?
100% everything. We like to get involved even before the plans are done, because the thing that happens so often is they'll go away to an architect and say, my my budget's $2 million and you get something drawn for 3-4, then they'll go to a builder and you get half dozen quotes back or 3 or 4 quotes back, and it's double your budget. So we want to get in and actually act as a consult during that design phase to make sure what we are drawing on paper actually suits their budget. We want these homes to get created.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Okay, yeah, brilliant. Now, if someone's, 16-year-old guy, they're just at school figuring out, right, I want to be a builder, but I don't necessarily want to be a builder. I probably want to be a developer. They just haven't figured out that path yet. What do those steps need to look like for them?
The biggest thing going from a builder to developer, or how you want to look at it, is definitely understanding the whole process between it and the correct structure that you need to have to do it. Look, if you don't do it right, it's going to cost you a lot of money, as well as actually thinking about what impact you can have on your business in a negative way if you don't actually structure things right and don't know your numbers detailed.
Yep. Yeah, gotcha. I suppose from here, mate, what's the one belief that you have that most people disagree with?
Probably work-life balance is the thing that's very controversial with a lot of people. I get criticised a lot for getting up at stupid o'clock and working big hours, but to me, I look at work-life balance over a lifetime. I'm going to achieve a lot over the next 10 years, and then for the next 40 with my family, I'm not going to have financial limitations. I'm not going to have time limitations. I'm going to be able to go away for a month at a time, do whatever I want with my family. That's work-life balance to me. It's just on a different timeline to most people.
That's a brilliant answer and a great way to think about it. Anything exciting? So tell me something you're building or launching at the moment.
Yeah, so we've got a few projects that are coming up that are going to be absolutely unbelievable. We've got 3 amazing homes being built in Indooroopilly. One we've already started. The boys are there prepping the suspended slab today. And then we've got an absolutely outstanding 3-story home coming up in Indooroopilly as well, which is going to be worth, around that $11-12 million mark on sale at the end. So that's kind of something that's really going to showcase what we can do and create an icon in that suburb.
Yeah, brilliant. Mate, where can people find you from here?
If you want to follow us on Instagram at 61 Property Group, we're also having the website redesigned, which will be www.61propertygroup.com.au.
Brilliant, mate. I love that. Talk soon.
Thanks, mate.